everybody? Welcome to the High Path channel. We are a plant-based family of 7, and today we are doing all sorts of meal prepping as much as possible in a limited amount of time. There's going to be lots of soups, lots of salads. Let's get in the kitchen and let's meal prep. Also, excuse my use of my mouth today because I have I call it an ulcer, but basically I bit myself on my lip like twice in the same week or even like the same day or something. It was terrible. It hurt so bad and it's a little bit swollen. So apologies. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done this before, and it's the worst feeling, just biting on your lip and not just once, but like twice or over and over again. It is truly the worst. Let's go. First things first, we're going to sanitize and clean out our sink. So I'm just spraying it with some vinegar spray. I'm giving it a quick good rinse, and then I'm going to fill it up with some water and some of this veggie wash. I am going to sharpen my knife because I want to make sure that I am prepped for lots of chopping today. So here's your gentle reminder to go and sharpen your knives because you know you need to sharpen that knife that you've had for a while. So since we have a lot of chopping to do, I want to just get all the chopping out of the way as much as possible before we start cooking things. Meal prepping does not mean that you have to make complete meals. We do a lot of like chopping prep, such as chopping up our broccoli and cauliflower that we use all the time. We like to prep mirepoix, which is basically just onions, carrots, and celery. So it makes it so easy and so convenient to make like a soup or whatever that is needed, whatever dish that we want to make using mirepoix. So if you don't have time to like make full meals, I would just suggest to chop up some vegetables and just get that ready for the week. It really, really does cut down the time and it really does help. So I know that I have a lot of dishes that I'm going to make with cabbage, so I'm going to chop up some cabbage first. Another thing that is good to prep is whatever plant milk that you make at home. So here our oldest, Emmanuel, is going to get ready to make some oat milk. Oat milk is one of the easiest milks to make at home. You basically just blend some oats and some water. It is a 1 to 4, so 1 cup of oats to 4 cups of water, and you want to make sure that you're using ice cold water, otherwise the oat milk will be very slimy and not good. So make sure that you use iced water. So this ratio makes a very thick and creamy oat milk, which we really like. You can also sweeten it up with some agave and maybe some vanilla if you would like to. You can also add extra water if you just want to water this milk down a little bit. Once it's blended, you strain it, and then we're just going to pour it into a mason jar and keep it in the fridge. I am starting a soup. So in this pot I have some celery, some carrots. I'm actually making a ginger butternut squash carrot soup here so that we can have with like sourdough toast or sourdough bread throughout the week. So carrots are one of those things that are kind of like pretty cheap, right? You can get a whole bag of organic carrots, like 5 pounds for like $5, something crazy like that. And so I decided this week we're still on kind of a budget. We're going to try to save a little bit of money, and I'm trying to make some more frugal meals. So I came up with some carrot soup, and with the ginger, I'm gonna add some onions with some ginger, some garlic, I think it's gonna be really, really delicious. So I'm just gonna chop up some onions. I'm gonna put that in, and then while I'm doing this, I'm gonna have Israel make a hemp sauce. We already have a mayo that we made yesterday. We just made it just by boiling up chickpeas, and then using the aquafaba, we made homemade mayo. This time it actually worked. The only thing is we didn't make quite enough, and I didn't expect us to go through it so much. So I'm gonna have Israel make a hemp sauce. We're gonna put it with our chickpeas. I can feel the onions. The onions are right under me. My eyes. Anyway, we're gonna make a hemp sauce. We're gonna make some chickpea salad. And then actually, you know what? I may just keep this for sandwiches and we'll just make a hemp sauce for the chickpeas. Okay, back to chopping. All right, Israel, I need you to make a hemp sauce, please. So I have my ginger, carrot, and actually I'm going to add some squash in here. And then here, I'm starting a sweet potato curry. The last time that I made a sweet potato curry, the kids loved it and devoured it. And it's actually really simple. All I did was just cut some onions. I added some oil. I cut some sweet potatoes like really roughly, like they're pretty large size. But we're going to stew this down and kind of cook this down really low and slow until it is ready. So let me cut some more sweet potatoes. I'm going to add a can of diced tomatoes and then season it up with like curry flavors. It's going to be really, really good. This is a 10-ounce bag of butternut squash. I'm using 2 of them. And this is like just a pre-cut frozen butternut squash. In our sweet potato curry, we're adding coriander, we have ground cumin, fennel seeds, cardamom. I also added a little bit of the fennel seeds in the butternut squash and carrot soup as well. After sauteing all these vegetables down a little bit, I'm just going to add some water in both of the pots, season it with salt, of course, and any other seasonings that we are looking for, and we're going to bring these pots up to a boil. In this curry, I'm going to add some diced tomatoes. So I have 1 can here. I'm not sure if I need 2 cans. I'm just going to put 1 can first. Let's stir it up. And then we're going to add some water and then just kind of cook it down until it's nice and ready. I may or may not add coconut milk. We'll see. The coconut milk does add a really delicious flavor, and we're going to actually finish it with some peas later on. I'm going to add some water. I did add some potatoes, like just russet potatoes, because I found the last time it kind of made it nice and thick and rich. So that's what I did this time as well. I also added water into our ginger, carrot, squash soup. And now it's just a matter of time. Let it do its thing on the stove and let it just cook. While Israel is making the hemp sauce for our chickpea salad, I'm going to shred up some carrots because we're going to need that for some coleslaw salad. I've mentioned this before, but I will mention it again because it's really cool. If you ever have a grater like this, I would suggest just putting it on your tabletop like this and then grating it this way. It really does help, and it's way more effective. Before I forget, I actually wanted to roast up some tofu, so I'm just going to do that because it takes a little bit to get this tofu crispy. So I'm going to start it right now, and it should take about 30, even 45 minutes. I also discovered that I froze a packet, and so I just defrosted a packet, and then this is actually a pre-frozen one. And for those of you who gave us suggestions on freezing it and then defrosting it and then squeezing out the water, it really does have a totally different texture. I'm so excited to try to use this in a recipe. So I don't know, maybe I will cook that separately because how exciting. I'm gonna probably just put it on a pan. I mean, maybe I'll just roast it together because I just want to see what the difference is. I'm so excited, and it's like It's so much more like dry, it feels like, and it's not as moist. It's really, really cool. Isn't that cool? Feel this one and then feel this one. See? It's like a sponge. It is like so interesting, Israel. It's so cool. And it's like drier or something. It's so cool.
Feel that.
I am feeling it. I'm drizzling the tofu with some grapeseed oil, then we're just going to season it up. I have some salt here. You can use anything. I like to use garlic powder, onion powder if I have. Sometimes smoked paprika. I'm also going to add a little bit of coconut aminos here just to get that flavor inside of the tofu. Something I also added was some Chinese 5-spice. I really love the flavors. So we're going to mix this up and roast it in a hot oven at 425 convection for about 30 minutes and we'll check. We're now going to start working on some chickpea salad. As you can see, Israel is loving his hemp sauce, so he was eating it. We're adding some shredded carrots and cabbage into the mix, some red onions as well. And then we're going to add our hemp sauce. This is going to be our chickpea coleslaw. We like to spice it up with a little bit of smoky chipotle peppers. This is very spicy. And then we're adding some extra acidity, just juiced up some limes. Salt it, season it as much as you would like to. Taste as you go. You want to make sure that you're tasting because that's all part of cooking. That's pretty good. All right, coleslaw chickpea salad is done. We are putting it into a Tupperware to just put into the fridge. Trey came out for a little snacky snack. The world's best farter. And he approves. This is going to go into the fridge to chill. The sweet potato curry is done. I'm just mashing it up because I don't like the big pieces of sweet potato. And I'm just adding some water because it looked like it needed a little bit more water. Whoever that suggested adding sweet potatoes to curry, thank you. It's really, really good. I'm tasting as I go. It looks like I needed some cumin, so I added some more cumin. And then I'm getting some noodles started for our noodle salad. We're now working on a chickpea tuna salad as well. We decided to put a little bit of cannellini beans. Why? Because we had some, and then we added some red onions, some celery. We added some Dijon mustard. We also added some of our homemade mayo. Israel said he feels like it needs to be mashed up a little bit, so we're gonna mash it up just a tad. Here, Mercy. All right, we have some backup. So we are going to ask Grace to help out, and then Mercy is just putting away the curry for us. And then let me check on the spaghetti. I think this is done as well. The ginger and carrot soup is also done in the background. We're going to blitz it up in a little bit. In here we have a 1/4 cup of almond butter. We have about 1/2 cup of coconut aminos. We're drizzling some sesame oil, however much you want, really, maybe like 2 tablespoons worth. Apple cider vinegar, just like 2 glugs.
That's more than a glug.
I got a little bit of ginger, about like a teaspoon's worth. I've got we're just using spaghetti noodle, but you can use like soba noodles if you want. Anything will do. I'm gonna see if I can grate this garlic because I don't want like huge pieces of garlic in our.
Okay, I added some carrots.
I think, look, you definitely need some water. So then just add a little bit of water, Grace. We're gonna add about, I don't know, I'd say like 1/2 cup of water just to dilute that sauce. I had to make an extra little batch of sauce because I didn't have enough, and I figured we really needed the almond buttery goodness. And then also our tofu came out. So this is the soft one, the one that's not frozen. This one is the one that we did freeze, and you can kind of see, I'm not sure if you can see, but it's way drier, and it is so interesting, the texture difference of these two. The one on the left is the one that's previously frozen. You can see it's a little harder, crispier, more crackly, whereas this one is the one that we just took out of the fridge and then just squeezed the water right before we made it. So interesting. So I decided that we're actually, I was starting to put the tofu in here, but I decided I think we're just going to serve this on the side if we ever do, whenever we're ready to eat it. This is just going to be the base. It's kind of like just like a base noodles, and then we will have like a little side of the tofu. I would have liked to put some bell peppers, but I only have green bell peppers. I don't think that it would be really good in this, like something such as a orange or a yellow or even a red would be the best because it's nice and sweet. So I'm just gonna go with that. We're just gonna do this noodle salad just like this. I try to add as much cabbage and carrots as possible. I'm just adding little bits as I'm mixing this just so that it can incorporate in there and kind of melt in. It's kind of difficult to mix. I kind of need a bigger bowl. Any of you guys have a recommendation for like a larger bowl, or what size bowl we should get for a large family to mix this? After most of the cooking is done, I'm just doing a little pickup and cleanup just to get the stations nice and cleaned. Of course, dishes are part of it as well. We're finishing our ginger, carrot, and squash soup with some coconut milk and some water. And then we're just going to blitz it up until it's nice and smooth. I actually did leave a few chunks in here because I just wanted the texture. Tasted it for salt. It looked like I needed a little bit more salt. And this was actually very, very delicious. Alrighty, we have a little bit of time to make a few other like little knickknacks and snacks, and Isaiah really wanted to make some crackers, so we are going to be making some seasoned saltines. It's really, really simple. The kids love it. Whose crackers is this? Half each cracker. I'm going to put all the crackers into a large bowl, and we're going to kind of season it up with a seasoning and salt. Seasoning oil. There you go. So let's put that all in. For every packet, we're drizzling some grapeseed oil, adding some onion powder, smoked paprika, and a little bit of cayenne pepper as well, and some Italian seasoning. And then we're just going to flip it and dress it, and then we're going to put it on a baking sheet and bake it in a hot oven for about 5 minutes on 400 degrees. You want to make sure that you're roasting these in increments, very small increments, because they can burn very quickly. After they're cold, we're just transferring them into our Tupperware, and that's it for the day. Our meal prep is done. That concludes our meal prep today. We started at about, what time did we start?
9.
Like 9, and now it's about 12:15-ish, so 3 hours? 3 hours. We prepped some cannellini beans, which we boiled early in the morning. Then we have some chickpea coleslaw salad. We have a chickpea tuna salad ready to go for like wraps or sandwiches. We have some delicious snacks like our crackers here. We have 2 large containers of it's not peanut, but it's almond noodle salad. We have some chopped up celery and carrots just ready to go for the next time. We have a beautiful soup here, which is our ginger, carrot, and squash soup. It's actually really, really good. You can taste, I had to add a little bit more ginger powder just to amp up that gingeriness, but overall it's really, really good. We also have some tofu prepped here, and we have 2 containers of the sweet potato curry, which we can eat throughout the week with some rice. I was thinking of doing some breakfast preps like doing muffins or overnight oats, but we don't have enough time, so maybe we'll just have to prep that maybe tomorrow, or whenever we have a chance to. Or really, breakfast we can do, there's just really simple stuff that we can make at home. We hope that you enjoy spending time with us in the kitchen, meal prepping. All these are whole food. These are plant-based, of course. We would love to know what you think. We hope to inspire you to meal prep your next meals. Thank you so much for watching our video. We hope that you subscribe if you're new. We will see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.
Bye.